Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. I hope everyone's having a nice day and a nice weekend, 3-day weekend. So I'm here today to share or do a finished flip through of this cookbook journal. I've shared it with you a couple times where I was working on it. So I've got the goodies over here that I'm organizing for the goodie bag that goes with this. But this was super fun to work on. My closure is a scrappy quilted like a quilt pieces tie closure. So you can see it wraps around twice, and it really kind of went so well with the colors here. I decided to use it as the closure, so I just tied it in a little bow and wrapped it around, and you can see how long it is and the colors. But this is an old book, and when I brought this home from the thrift store, it was kind of, it had the covers, it had I think all the pages, but the spine was pretty much gone, you know what I mean? There wasn't really much of a spine or any spine, and it was, thin. So I wanted to redo it, and I wanted to make it, of course, into a cookbook journal, and I'm not sure how you say this, and I'm not sure, like, this could be from the 1800s. It just looks really old. It's either from the early 1900s or 1800s. I looked it up. I don't remember what I found though. I should have looked it up again. But just so cool. It's apparently a baking powder. Never heard of it before I got this book. Apparently, I don't think they make it anymore. But here's what I guess the container used to look like. You can see the old patina here, isn't it? It's just some grungy awesomeness here. I've got the rickrack here with the blue and white gingham fabric. There's 5 signatures, so you can see my stitches there. 5 pamphlet stitch. This wax cord matches the patina here. That's why I use this. It's like the same color. I put a little bow there. So let's get started with the flip through. Like I said, there's 5 signatures, and I'll have how many pages are in the listing. It will be listed when you see this video, but the front and back covers on the inside had these cool pictures or graphics from the original book, and I didn't want to cover those up at all. So, but I wanted to put a little pocket here, so I did a little flip down pocket. And so whoever gets this can glue this down, like put some glue over here and glue it down if you want. But I just didn't want to take that option away for someone to see the original graphics here. And I put a little seam binding here so that this acts as a stop. Say this is a vintage recipe card. Most of the ephemera in here is vintage, original vintage, authentic. So see how this kind of rests up against there, and it won't fall out. And then this is a little coaster here. I have some of these from the thrift store in my stash. So I guess you can see I added the rickrack and these are strawberry appliques here. And so let's get started with a flip through here. Each signature is covered with some gingham cardstock. So, and I used this as part of my design team project. I've been using Tina's ephemera packs this month through the month of May. So ShabbyDabbyDooDah. And I will have the 3 ephemera kits, digital kits that I use this month listed under this video. But I pulled the kind of recipe cookbook related ones out. There was quite a bit, and I used a little bit of it. But I will be using this through the month of June also, and featuring it in whatever journals I do. So that will continue because it's so beautiful. I mean, just look at the colors here. It's Pillsbury flower, like an ad, so pretty, a vintage ad, and it's a pocket. And I have made this little kind of tag bookmark from ad that I cut out from a magazine, an old magazine probably, and it's all about the coffee pot cleaner there. It's so cute. That's vintage apron on the top, and fabric from an apron, and I've got an eyelet in there to make that nice and strong. Each cover of the signatures has some kind of trim over here. So like on this one, I have the green rickrack, and I have, pockets on inside each of the covers. So you can see it decorated here, and several pieces. I have lots of note paper that's cookbook related, so I put a lot of that in here because I love, love, love it. And so that's one piece there. And, you know, these are receipts and a recipe card that I had made. Okay, so I have a paper bag in each signature. So this one is a popcorn bag. Some goodies in here, coaster, recipe card, and a library card. And I didn't want to stuff too much ephemera in here and make this like giant. It's already big enough, right? The spine is 2.5 inches. I have lots of recipe related paper in here. So like some of the papers are from recipe scrapbooks that I found at thrift stores. You know, old instruction booklets. This is from an ice cream freezer. And just some ledger paper. I want to make sure I have some writing room and plenty of room for someone to put their things in here. This is I made a lot of double pockets in here. So this is a, you know, recipe divider card, you know, with the tab. Here's a little tag here. It says made for you. This is a piece of the ShabbyDabbyDooDah ephemera kit. And I've just tucked that right in here. A couple pieces back here of some of my note paper and a card that you can journal in or do whatever you want, but it has a tea kettle and some apples and a nice cover there. Lots of pages from recipe, different cookbooks, you know. This is the center of the first signature where I have some heart buttons, a red and a gray one. Those I brought home from a thrift store recently. And this is a wallpaper pocket here. I have an old receipt in there and a recipe card that I made with some grungy coffee dyed file folder. The pages like this, and they say, most of them say on the top, Raisin or Risen Baking Book, and that you'll know when you see that those pages are from this book, you know, the original pages from this book. So here is another bag with goodies. I might not pull out all the goodies so we can save a little time, but so you can have some surprises too. But this one has the front of a strawberry card, so that makes for a really nice, pretty journaling card. And this is the back of this first signature. Each signature has a little tab, so this one has the milk cap that's been sewn on. It's an actual old vintage one. I have a couple of these pages from a Reader's Digest magazine, not the books. I have some 60s and 50s Reader's Digest magazines, and they have the coolest ads. I mean, look at that. Isn't that cool? Look at the hot dog. And look at the graphics from, you know, back when, I think this one was 60s. And if you do digitals, look at how this is, the background is like they cut it out and put it in the picture. See the backgrounds here around the hot dog? I don't know. You don't see that anymore. I don't know if they did that on purpose or what, but I think that's an awesome ad anyway. But makes it even more awesome. You can see where they cut it out and put it in there. And then here's a recipe card. All the recipe cards in here I picked up at thrift stores, or they were sent to me in Happy Mail, where Maria sent me a lot. Sherry from Studio 28E, Sherry Smear, she sent me a lot. So thank you, ladies. I love those. You know I do. This has got a little decoration. I have some stickers that are like, they're called canning labels, and they're so cool. But they're so cool for cookbooks, you know what I mean? So this one says, from the kitchen to the table. And I love the colors, and they're pretty retro, so they're very cool. On the back of each signature, I have a piece that I've cut out from a magazine and saved. So I have a little pouch full of recipe cookbook related things that I've cut from magazines, and I haven't used them. And I was like, when I was doing this, I was like, I need to, you know, if I'm ever going to use those, I need to see if I can use them now. And there's a piece here, and they turned out really cute, I think. So I got to remember to use them in future cookbook journals. But this is another piece right here from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. So beautiful. It's a pocket like this, where I have just sewn on some, this is from a tea towel that I cut up. and just sewed on that ruffle there. And it looks so cute here with all the colors with that ruffle right there. And here, so you can see, I mentioned that trim. This one has the yellow rickrack. So this is a double pocket that I talked about. We've got a playing card here, 2 little mini tags, and they say, this one says toast, this one says eggs on it. It's just 2 little tags. And then in here, a recipe card right here, and one of my little note papers, Farmer's Market. You can see why I love those, right? They're new, but I love them. They're all, when I see them, I have to bring them home. So I was like trying to make sure I use them because I have, when I was going through, I was like, oh my goodness, I have so many of these. Here's another paper bag. Here's one of the stickers I was talking about. So this is a Dairy Queen bag, and I picked up a bunch of these. They were never used, I don't believe. I don't know why they had so many, but I got them from an estate sale. And this right here is one of those stickers I was talking about. And I think, I kind of did this before I even realized what I did, but I think that Dairy Queen used to, I don't know if they use it anymore, but they used to use the slogan, eat, drink, and be merry. I promise I remember that. I'm not imagining it, but I put that there. I was like, oh my goodness, that used to be Dairy Queen's slogan. So I was so excited about that. In here, I was thinking about using parts of this in this journal, and I never did. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to put the whole thing in here because I absolutely love this. It's a little, let's see, it's called Nordic Ware, and it's all about this copper, these copper, molds. And she looks like she's making a meat mold there, but it's so cute and so retro. Look at her. And, here's the back. So you could take this apart or keep it like it is and use the recipes. There's some little pictures in here. So cool. There's the cookware, and I don't want to spend too much time, but there's some baking ware, and just so cool, right? So I just put that whole thing. It has the original little string on it and everything. I got that from a thrift store, and the original has a little price tag in here. I don't know if somebody actually paid for this in the way back when or whenever, from the 50s or whenever it was, 70s. I don't know. I don't remember if there's a copyright in there right now, but there might be. So I thought that was fun. On this page, I put a little match box here, match book, and it tucks in, and it's a little tuck spot. I've got a receipt there. This is a vintage Post-it fax note here, so you can write on that, and it's removable. It's a Post-it, so it can be moved around. But it's when they used to use these on faxes. I don't know if they make these anymore, but we don't use them in our office, that's for sure. We hardly use faxes, but there are some requirements where we still have to use faxes in the legal business. But anyway, they used to put these on. It has the to from, and put them on a paper, I guess, and fax it so you didn't have to do a fax cover. I don't think we ever used those, but I found those at a thrift store, and I thought they were really cool. I used some papers in here pages from it's a vintage depression glass book. So those are really pretty. You can see the glassware there. And let's see, what else have I done? Okay, this is the middle of the signature, where I've used some authentic, original, vintage labels. And I love the colors of these two. That's why I picked them. This has the heart buttons too on these strings. But I've just stuck in here. I recently brought home these cards that are on a track. I thought they were so cool. And then here's a Rolex card that's like 3x5 size. Some old recipes. This one's clipped from a newspaper, and this one's handwritten here. So those are fun to have and have fun with. You can collage with them or keep them whole, in your whatever you're doing in your journal. But they're just fun to see and have. This is a little folder, I believe, that was from a kind of recipe organization little bundle that I picked up at a thrift store. And see, it opens, it's a folder, and has a little tab here. I put one of my labels there, and then this is a piece of paper from a recipe book that is just blank and has these like big recipe. You can cut these out or use this as a whole or something to write on, but I thought that was fun. I liked it a lot. And then, let's see, more fun pages. This is the tab in this one, this signature. I used this fabric here, which I believe was from a handmade, it was from a handmade, what do you call it? A little, a little jacket. Like, I can't think of the name I want to say right now, but it is that fabric, and from that little, oh gosh. Anyway, it's so pretty. I put a piece there as the tab, and I have a little S&H green stamp that's kind of wrapped around here too. It's sewn on, and yeah, I'll say more about that when I remember what I wanted to say. Video, sometimes you just forget your words, right? Anyway, here's this part of the bag, the Dairy Queen bag. I've got a 1985 calendar page, a guest check that I dyed pink, and a recipe card in there. One of my double pockets. This is a beautiful recipe card here. I've got a little picture in there. Let me get my hand out of the way. Little picture, little piece of ephemera to have fun with. Cute little recipe card here that says, make yourself at home, clean my kitchen. Isn't that funny? And one of my note papers with the carrots on the bottom. So cool. Love those. So that's in there. Feed sack fabric. I think this was feed sack fabric. That's what I wanted to say, besides what it was actually, a little whatever. I'll remember that in a second too. Okay, next signature. Here's a piece of the feed sack fabric. And this is from ShabbyDabbyDooDah, her ephemera. So cool. And this is on a little index card that I just tucked in there. I just like the way those ruffles look there too. Here's the little piece of decoration here. Patterned, flower patterned, kind of like seam binding. Here's a little magazine piece I put over here. It's like a can label, tomato sauce. And so on with the next page. This is a double pocket. Here I have a playing card where these people are eating dinner, sitting down to dinner and showing their food there. And it's a playing card. And then several pieces in here, recipes, a little kind of journaling space here. It has some apples, basket of apples, and a milk and cookies, a note paper. So fun. Okay. This is a beautiful page from this book. And then this is a recipe pocket page that I put in here, and you can pull these cards out and write on them, do whatever you want. You can put your own recipes or pictures in there. And so that I love to use those in all my journals, really, if I have them available. Here's one of the Depression book pages, Depression glass book. Here's another bag here. This one says Sweet Treats. It's a popcorn bag. And then here I have a little invitation with plenty of lines to write on and make this into a journaling card or write a recipe on there. So this journal can be used for a journal, you know, a regular journal. You don't have to use it as a cookbook journal. Here's a yo-yo tab. This I picked up at a thrift store, those yo-yos. And here's a wallpaper that I recently brought home and showed you in one of my Thrifty Thursdays. And it's the perfect. I love these little rolls. It was a roll, you know, the wallpaper borders. They're perfect to cut off a piece and use as pockets. This is when the note paper in this pocket. It says guest list and menu right here. I know I picked that one up at Goodwill. I saw the sticker when I pulled it out. I hadn't used any of it yet. So address, filler paper, a lined Rolodex card, and a little, this is a little card that's, I guess these are about food or something. But anyway, it has a cornucopia there on the front. And this is the middle of the signature. I have a button here. And this page, this side I didn't want to put a pocket because it has the tomatoes there. I didn't want to cover that up, but this side I put a little pocket made from a card. And I didn't fussy cut this out. I just cut this off the front of a card. It was already cut like this. I thought it was so pretty. With the strawberries, you maybe noticed I've used a few strawberries throughout here. So, and this was the back of the card, and I just like this. First of all, I like what it says, and I like the colors here, yellow and red, yellow with red writing. So I just went ahead and stuck that in there so that can be used for whatever. Collage, journaling space. There's 2 layers there. That was the back of the card that had 2 layers. So I went ahead and put both of those in there. And more fun pages here. Look at that. So cool. I love this one with the red graphics here. This page I added a little just for decoration. It kind of turned out to be a little tab looking piece, but it's a vintage cigar label and popcorn bag. There's some journaling spots there, and you know, things you can decorate. Like sometimes I like to just to put the bases in so you all can decorate, you know, and whoever gets it can, you know, make tags and tuck spots and whatever they want to make. The note paper in this one is this moo cow. This is a coaster that I sewed on there. It has like tomato wheat type graphics there. A little address refill piece that I stamped rubber stamp on. This is the rubber stamps I received from Sherry a little while ago. She sent me these a whole set of cookbook or recipe related rubber stamps, and those are so cute. This is the first time I've got a chance to use them, and I thank you so much for sending me those, Sherry. Those were awesome and perfect because, you know, I like to make these kind of journals. I really appreciate her sending me those. And this is from one of the Reader's Digest magazines, advertisement for, you know, the 60s magazines for Dole Pineapple there. Super cool. And just some more awesome pages here. I love these old vintage pages from different magazines, but this is from this book. A double pocket here. This one is from Farm to Table, the little note paper here. Journaling tag, handwritten recipe, a playing card with a cook, with a little chef there with his hat. This is a piece from packaging that is a tab divider kind of thing, but super cool. And I love the colors on that one. Here's the magazine piece there. This is another magazine piece here, I believe. And it's so retro looking. I don't know if I actually cut it out from a magazine or if I got it with some other recipes that I picked up. But anyway, I love it, and it looks so pretty on this yellow. Here's the decoration here with the yellow, red rack little pieces here to decorate. And I've got a Coke notepad paper here. This is one of the pieces from Tina's ShabbyDabbyDooDah. So cute, a little journaling card. This is an original check that I got with some recipes, and it has a recipe written on the back. I love how ladies used to just pick up whatever was sitting around, whatever paper, and write down a recipe. And there's a couple sheets of this little memo paper here. It's a cool color, and it has a coffee grinder on it there. So that is awesome journaling space there. And a belly band here. This is made from a flashcard with a coaster right there. This is a this little paper is from a recipe book, and I made it into an envelope, and this is journaling space here. And those are just tucked. This is sewn on. I left the strings. You can always cut those off if you don't like them. A paper bag here with some goodies. More journaling space there. A little tab I've sewn on here. It looks like a placemat. A piece from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. I can't say anything about that except that I love it. I love those so much. They're so pretty. Here's the center with some buttons. And a piece that I made from, was from one of my scrapbook recipe scrapbooks I picked up. I folded it in half. It's kind of cardstocky, so it's not thick cardstock though. I guess it's more papery actually now that I feel it, but I did double it over. So I made a pocket. There's a pocket in the back where I put journaling tag, and then in here some journaling space too. And that is in the front pocket. So there's two pockets there. Paper bag. All right, I have several pieces. Let's see. A piece, I love this one too, from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. Look at that old oven. Isn't that cool? And then here's a card, coffee card. I have only a couple of these. This might be my last one, or I might have one more, but I picked those up a while ago at a thrift store, and I haven't been hoarding them. I just kind of forgot to get them out. Good thing, because now I get to use them. And this is an old kind of browning envelope, and I just put some of my rubber stamps on there that have to do with recipes, so that's just fun. I gotta go a little bit quick so we can get done before my camera runs out, but you know how that goes. This is a clipped newspaper. You can see how brown that is. That's a recipe from a newspaper. I just have a big bag of recipes that I picked up at an estate sale, so I'll have things like that to tuck into my cookbook journals. And this is from Sheree, printed doily. Isn't that pretty? It's on cardstock, like file folder. This, I think these two are pieces I think are from Sheree too. She recently sent me some Happy Mail, and aren't those pretty? Love those. Here's the front pocket. There's a back pocket and a front pocket here. And then this is from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. And this is the cover of the last signature here. This is a recipe card, pocket in the back, with one of my index cards with some more of that smock. That's what I wanted to say earlier. I believe this was from a handmade smock that I cut up, and it looks like it might have been made from feed sack fabric. So I just thought it was so pretty when I found it at the thrift store that I brought it home and cut it up. So I didn't need a smock. So here's an old kind of recipe card with like an advertisement type one. Isn't it pretty with the colors of blue and yellow? And it's a front pocket here with a couple of pieces. This one's from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. And this is a page from Betty Crocker's kids cookbook. I love that. This is from an old vintage McCall's, very retro page here. Love that one. And you can see the beautiful glassware. That's why I love to use that book. It just has those beautiful glassware pages. Some are black and white, but still you can see the china there. Very beautiful. Here is another bag where I have, this is a baking flashcard bakery. And this is a postcard. This is vintage style. It's not vintage, but I love it. So I put it in there. It can be journaling space or whatever. And more fun pages here. Oh, there's the middle of that signature with the buttons. Here's a bag here with a blue Rolodex and this is a postcard. I have a book of these. I think it's from the Little Golden Book postcards that I have. Don't forget your antioxidants. And they're sitting down eating some grapes or blueberries or something there. Little kittens, you know, the little Golden Book kittens. So fun. Here's a label on this one. I put a label right there. Jam-packed with joy. Here's the tab in the signature. It's a journaling card, and it's a beautiful picture of a jar of jam. Here's a paper bag here that I put down as a pocket. There's one of these vintage advertisement tags in the front pocket. And in the back is a postcard, which is a diner. I think it's a postcard. Super cool. I love those. I love those type of things. And here's a tab in this one. It's one of the pieces from, oh, this is not the tab for this one, but this is just a tab I put on this fold out, and it's a piece of ShabbyDabbyDooDah. Here's the back cover, not cover, but cover to the signature. So this is a little piece that flips up. It says from the kitchen of, made from an index card. And so, you know, there's writing room there. I put a little pocket behind with a piece from ShabbyDabbyDooDah. And it's tight, but it does fit in there. Now I can't get it in. There it goes. And then this is a postcard. Yeah, postcard. This Hershey's Milk Chocolate Cow made on the farm. And this is a book I recently brought home about you put down information, you take it with you when you're traveling or going to restaurants, and write down all your favorite things about that restaurant so you can remember to go back there or not to go back there. Here's the piece from the magazine, the Rice Krispie people here, making some Rice Krispie treats. The pocket in the back where I have a Candyland playing card and a cheese flashcard. So strawberry, I do have some strawberry appliques back here. So that is it. I hope I made it through before my camera cuts off. It cuts off now without me knowing it. So here's a little paper bag full of, I'm going to put all these goodies in here, whatever else I pick up. But I've got some pieces of the tea towel, the fabric I used on the spine doily. some postage stamps, some S&H green stamps. Here's some little envelopes I've been making this week with tiny goodies in here, little tags and die cut pieces, some little envelopes, and just all kinds of stuff here, fun stuff to match and play with. So little goodies that will be coming along with this once I get it all together. But I hope you enjoyed. I have so much fun making cookbook journals, and I could just make all cookbook journals and nothing else. So, but I like variety too, so that's a problem. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see y'all next time. Have a great weekend. Happy crafting.